Adrian was a very rich man who started with nothing. When he was young, his family had no money. But he worked hard and became successful. Everyone knew him as a man who had everything he wanted. Lots of money, a big company, a beautiful house, and a pretty girlfriend named Cassandra who many people wished they could be like. But sometimes life has a way of showing us things we don't want to see. One day, Adrian came home early when nobody expected him. He walked quietly into his big house with floors made of marble. What he saw next was so terrible and shocking that his heart almost stopped beating. His girlfriend Cassandra, the woman he wanted to marry, was being very mean to his old mother. She was kicking at her while his mother stood there shaking, holding her walking stick, too old and weak to fight back. In that moment, everything Adrian believed about love and trust broke into pieces. Before I tell you more of the sad but important story, let me stop for a minute. If you think that real love means being kind, showing respect, and giving people chances to change, not just caring about money or how someone looks, then please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it, and follow our channel called Kindness Corner. When you do this, it helps us tell more stories that remind people what really matters in life. Adrian had always cared about doing the right thing, even when he became very successful. His mother was the most important person in his life. She took care of him all by herself after his father left them when he was little. She worked at 3 different jobs just to buy food for them to eat. Even though they didn't have much money, she made sure her son never felt poor inside his heart. When Adrian became rich later, he bought big houses and expensive cars. But he also made sure his mother had everything she needed: a comfortable place to live, respect, and lots of love. However, Adrian also wanted to have his own family someday. That's when he met Cassandra. She was a very beautiful woman who dressed nicely and knew how to make people like her when she walked into a room. She seemed sweet and caring, and she acted like the perfect girlfriend for a rich man like Adrian. At first, Era, his mother, tried to welcome Cassandra into their family. But deep in her heart, she sometimes felt that something was not right about Cassandra's smile. The truth was that Cassandra had grown up wanting money and a fancy lifestyle more than anything else. She didn't really love Adrian. She just loved the expensive life he could give her. While she was nice to Adrian, she was very cold and mean to his mother. She saw Era as something that got in her way, something that bothered her, something that reminded her that if she wanted Adrian's money, she would also have to deal with his family, and she didn't want to do that. When Adrian was home, Cassandra acted like the perfect, loving girlfriend. But when he went away for work or was busy with long meetings, Era had to deal with Cassandra's mean behavior. Cassandra would say hurtful things to her, hide her medicines, and treat her very badly. But Era never told her son what was happening. She was too afraid of making him sad or forcing him to choose between his girlfriend and his mother. She kept all the pain inside, hoping that maybe one day love would make Cassandra's heart softer and kinder. But on that terrible morning, Adrian decided to cancel his business trip and come home early. He wanted to surprise his mother by bringing her favorite flowers and spending a quiet afternoon with her, away from his busy work life. When he walked into his house, he moved very quietly down the hallway because he heard angry voices. When he reached the big staircase and looked around the corner, his heart felt like it stopped working. There was Cassandra with angry, burning eyes, kicking at his mother who was trying not to fall down while holding her walking stick. Then he heard Cassandra say terrible words that cut like a knife. "You're nothing but trouble in this house. Why don't you just go away and never come back?" The beautiful flowers Adrian was holding fell out of his hands and hit the floor. In that 1 second, everything he believed was good and true fell apart. His girlfriend, the woman he thought he would spend his whole life with, showed him who she really was inside. His whole world felt like it was spinning, and anger started growing inside him like a storm. He ran toward them, his voice shaking with anger and hurt. Cassandra's face became very pale when she realized that Adrian had seen everything she did. Era's eyes filled with tears, but not because she was hurt. She cried because she felt bad for her son, who was now learning that his heart was about to break. The days after that were some of the hardest days in Adrian's whole life. He stopped planning to marry Cassandra right away. His heart felt very heavy, but he knew what he had to do. Cassandra was very scared about losing the rich life she wanted to keep, so she tried to beg him, cry, and make excuses for what she did. But Adrian had made up his mind and nothing could change it. His mother's feelings and respect were too important to him. News about their broken engagement spread very quickly, and it shocked everyone who had thought they were the perfect couple. Many people couldn't believe that what seemed like a fairy tale love story had ended so suddenly. But Adrian understood something important. You can only see what someone is really like inside when you watch how they treat people who can't protect themselves. After that day, Adrian spent all his time taking care of his mother. He wanted to help heal all the hurt she had kept secret for so long. He changed his whole life around, staying home more often and making sure Era felt loved and special every single day. They would sit together on the balcony when the sun came up, drinking tea and talking about happy memories from when life was simpler. He realized how many important things he had missed while he was so busy trying to make more money. He thought about all the times he had left her alone with Cassandra, who was hurting her. He felt very guilty about this. But Era, who was always gentle and kind, told him she forgave him. "You came back when I needed you most," she said to him one evening, with eyes full of love. "That's all that matters to me." But Adrian's story didn't end with just sadness and heartbreak. In the months that came next, he started to see life in a completely different way. Having a big company and lots of money didn't mean anything to him anymore if it wasn't built on being kind, respectful, and truly loving people. He became closer to the people who worked for him, making sure their families had what they needed. He gave money to organizations that help take care of old people, using his wealth to help those who had nobody to stand up for them. His mother became his partner in helping others, and her wise advice helped him make good decisions. Little by little, Adrian's heart started to feel better. Even though he still had scars from being betrayed, those scars reminded him of the important lesson he had learned. Money can buy many things, but it can't hide cruelty, and it can never replace real love. As for Cassandra, her world fell apart without Adrian's money to support her lifestyle. She had bet everything on being greedy and lost it all. The fancy world she had wanted so badly didn't want her anymore, and she became like a shadow of the glamorous person she used to be. Meanwhile, Adrian became successful not just because of his money, but because he was surrounded by real love and respect. This story teaches us something that sounds simple but is very important. Being kind to others is what really shows how much we're worth as people. Beauty doesn't last forever, money can come and go, but the way we treat other people, especially those who need help, shows who we really are deep inside. Adrian's life took a very painful turn that day, but it brought him back to what mattered most: his mother's love, which had always been the foundation that made him strong. And through all his pain, he became not just a millionaire with money, but a millionaire in his heart. If this story touched your heart and reminded you how important it is to be kind and care for your family, I ask you from the bottom of my heart to please like this video, leave a comment, share it, and follow Kindness Corner. Every time you click, it helps us share more stories that inspire people to be compassionate and give others second chances. Before we finish, I'd love to hear what you think. If you were in Adrian's place, would you have given Cassandra another chance? Or do you think that when someone betrays you like this, there's no way to fix it? Please tell us your thoughts in the comments. What you say matters, and it helps inspire other people. Adrian's journey is like a bright light for all of us. In a world where people care too much about how things look on the outside, we should never forget that real wealth isn't measured by what we own, but by how we love others. And in the end, the most valuable gift we can give is kindness. Because kindness leaves behind something special that no amount of money can ever buy.